Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Torture is How You Make Friends. I'm your host, Johnny Hellcat, and with me today are subjects of
Mhm.
great unspeakable things. Frosted Glass,
Hello.
Rotncorpse,
What up?
and Terry Diamantis.
Hashtag me too soon.
Mm.
And we watched Melinda Hill's 2019 stand-up titled Inappropriate, um, which, that happened.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did think she set the tone for the entire special quite well by starting with a recitation of the wage gap statistic. Like, okay, so I know what to expect from this next hour.
Well, she started with wanting to heal.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and
all that
the,
pretentious nonsense, but
yeah,
Yeah. And also the whole, wage gap statistics thing had nothing to do with the joke that she was saying at the time.
no, she
So,
just threw that
so
in
it
there.
was totally just, shoehorned in there.
I mean, most of what she was trying to do didn't have anything to do with the joke she was telling at the time.
Yeah, I mean, all of her jokes were just like repeated too often. Like she did the weird magician gesture joke, and then like for the next like 5 minutes, every sentence she said, she did the stupid wavy hands and like
oh, I must have missed that.
Oh yeah, that carried
Yeah.
on. Like, there is a thing of carrying on a joke too long, and some people can take it for longer and whatnot. But she didn't give enough pause in between each gesture.
you know, it was like a sentence and then a big elaborate magician gesture, another sentence, then another big elaborate. It was like, okay, we get it. You've made your joke. Move on.
And then the
I wish
quasi
you-
rape joke.
You
Ugh.
wish you were a magician's assistant. We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the pretty much the most important thing in comedy is timing, and that's the thing that she's the worst at.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Hashtag me
Like
too.
she
Me too.
she
dead
makes her
inside.
jokes go on. Yeah, she repeats her jokes. She makes them go on too long. She doesn't know how much time they need to breathe.
Well, the other thing that was annoying was she just keep saying thank you whenever she mentioned something that happened to her. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
how
got
that's how you
invited
know
to a
the
party.
topic changes.
yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
if
it's
she-
almost like Coach Red Pill saying okay
yeah.
when he had that argument with Polly. I was watching the Noir Bar earlier, so that
Good
got brought back
good
up.
old Coach Red Pill. I actually hear he got arrested, but I
We
haven't
can talk
seen the
about that
videos
later.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of her running jokes, if she did like once or twice, they might have been okay. But yeah,
Or
like
even if they were
it
spaced out, like if she did the hashtag Me Too Soon thing, every 15 minutes and like 4 times across the entire hour, maybe that could have worked, but not 6 times in 6 minutes. It's like, okay, you've done the joke, move on.
yeah. But like if she kept the same material but had like really good timing, it would be go from torturous to just mediocre.
Yeah, for sure.
Been like, this is something I would expect to see from like a comic who's kind of been traveling around in a fucking dive bar in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, like if you have an okay joke, which a couple of hers were, I guess. But like if it's just okay, then you don't leave a lot of time after. You just like move on real quick to your next thing
Yeah.
to make it seem funnier. But she gives it like 2 minutes for the audience to react or whatever.
I think it's one of those things. She'd be stronger in the like plausibly her comedy would be a bit stronger in the smaller settings to where they only have like that 5 minute time frame. She doesn't seem like her stand up is meant to be in a full half-hour set more than like
Yeah.
maybe 10 minutes.
Let alone the hour that she had.
Yeah.
That was an hour. I swear to Christ, I thought the thing said 33 minutes.
That was halfway through. It has a countdown.
Okay, yeah. No, it felt like an hour. I mean, it felt like longer, but by torture stream standards, it felt like an hour special to me. So
Yes.
And you can't tell me that the applause wasn't sweetened in post.
of course,
Oh yeah, that's why I brought up the was it Mitch Hedberg? If you watch his one stand up like the first half.
We're recording this for a special. Please laugh or something like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ba-
I mean, even Mitch Hedberg is at least funny.
He had the
Yeah,
pre Jed Bush. Please clap.
With me, I mean, Mitch Hedberg is hit or miss, but he is like fast enough with his delivery that the misses kind of get glossed over, and you spend
Yeah.
more time with the hits. Which, as Frosted was saying, this chick really needed to work on.
Maybe she was doing the anti-comedy shit where she's supposed to take a joke and then beat it into the ground. It's just it wasn't funny to begin with.
Yeah.
So on that,
I will give her credit. I will give her credit for one thing. The two songs she picked as the most inappropriate songs to strip to, they were quite inappropriate songs to strip to. I will give her that.
Yeah, but that also could have been a good bit, but she made it go on way too long.
Absolutely.
Not to mention she cracked and laughed a little during it, which
Totally
unless you're really good, you can't really get away with it. It just makes the joke worse.
Yeah, the only way you can go typically with a joke like that is you have. Yeah, she should have been able to stay deadpan faced the entire thing.
well, and
Especially
then
this is like.
oh, go
I
ahead.
could understand if she cracked on like live performances, but this is like the edited version that goes out as like the official release of the comedy special. Do you think they would have edited that out, or just taken the best take, or fixed it somehow? You don't leave that in the final cut.
Since there was probably several cameras, they probably could have just switched to a different camera where you didn't see her laughing.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
There was one section in there where it was a clear cut. Like, they really poorly edited it in.
So was it like Bo Burnham's joke about video editors?
With an even worse edit, yes, because she had just finished the joke, and then it's like she was waiting for that pause, but it just cut immediately to her telling another joke.
Yeah, because the audience reaction wasn't there.
So is the editor trying to save her?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, it was around the missing Irishman.
Yeah, I mean, I've been an editor. I've been an editor before, and I've been told that the editor's job is to make the director look good.
Pretty much.
So in this case, just replace that with comedian.
Yeah. No, she is the director as well. If you read the credits, it was written and directed by Melinda Hill. So same applies.
But
And that writer's strike must have hit her early by like 3 years.
Well, I think there was actually one around that time also. Because this current writer strike is not the first one.
But that's the thing. Do you really want to highlight to the world just how little their life changes without you? Like, I can understand if firefighters go on strike, because that's an important job that needs doing. Like, writing shitty TV shows and movies, you stop doing that, and they're like, okay, have fun.
Well, during one of the... Go ahead, Frosted.
I mean, what are we gonna do without Jimmy Fallon for a while?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the writer's strike isn't always a bad thing. That whole thing, during one of them, that's how Joss Whedon did Dr. Horrible's sing-along book. And I found that little video to be great.
Well, I mean, I think the writer's strike is a good thing in as much as there will be less TV and movies being written. It's like, by today's standards, yes, please.
It should just
Please stop.
It should just be an entire Hollywood strike where they just refuse to molest people.
Oh, that would be good.
I mean, unfortunately, this I would almost equate closer to the doctor strike, to where with the writer strike we're seeing less crap on TV. I think it was back in the 90s in California, doctors went on strike and mortality rates plummeted by 300%. More people were living because they weren't dying on operating tables.
I do think that's interesting that going to the doctor is like not as beneficial as it superficially seems, because people die in surgery, and if they had not gone for the surgery, maybe what they had wouldn't have killed them, kind of thing.
Well,
Yeah,
it's the whole thing of for doctors, they have to learn somehow, but the accidental mistakes can cause the death of someone when usually it shouldn't be a, death. It should just be a, oh, that sucks.
It's always dangerous to let the world see what life is like without you. It doesn't always end up like the what's that movie? It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't always work out that you're the linchpin that all of society hinges on. Sometimes
it's the Flashpoint paradox.
Yeah, like, man, ever since these idiots stopped filling out TV screens with garbage, life has been good. It's like, let's not hire them back.
But yeah, she talked about getting the SAG card at 51 by a 51 from a 51-year-old guy. But her paying,
wonder what she had to do to get that.
About what you'd expect.
I think she just had to actually take her clothes off when she did the stripper joke.
And by then his boner was completely gone.
Yeah, and then he's like, you know what? I don't even want to have sex anymore. Just take the job and go.
Here's your $75 for fees.
Yeah.
He's like, have this. I'm gonna go now.
I don't know if she mentioned it, but she was actually in a Creed video. I don't know if you guys know that.
Do you have enough money for the cab? Yeah, the Creed video. That's
And I love how she was like making fun of like guys with like mommy issues or whatever. Meanwhile, she has like the most obvious daddy issues.
Oh, dude, she has parental issues in total. Mostly daddy issues, but she got some. Yeah.
Like she clearly like doesn't like men and all that stuff, and she mentions a couple times how her dad was bipolar or whatever.
Yeah. Was very like angry and would yell at her and stuff, and she tried to record it and no one ever heard the tape. None of this is funny. This is a therapy session.
Here's a question. Did you give someone the tapes, or did you just record them and just kind of like, and done?
Hopefully
once
someone
this goes viral, I've got him.
Yeah.
In 20 years, when I'm pouring my soul on to this crowd that is probably there because someone's going to pay him,
or they are all obviously
that entire audience was paid. Obviously.
Oh yeah. What we didn't see was the people off stage with guns being like, "You will laugh," or like the Steven Crowder, "Stop talking, Dave Landau." Button, they had the light that would go on for them to laugh.
Yeah.
The problem was the person who's supposed to operate it was just, had the barrel of a gun in their mouth the entire time. Like, I don't know, man. Might be better.
I mean, he was probably the one holding the gun.
Like I said, to his own temple.
I've never liked Steven Crowder's like comedy stuff. I've never found him funny.
Well, I want to say in like the 10 minutes since we've been live, I'm pretty sure we've made better jokes than she has.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
That's why you don't let women be comedians.
Hey, look at that. We're not getting paid a damn thing for it.
Nope.
Yeah, she does the pay gap. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, she does.
God, that was so retarded to put in there.
Yeah, like she just mentions it and then moves on. Like it's not the premise for a joke or a bit or anything.
No, she's just like, facts aren't always fun, and then she moves on.
And then she uses the reasoning of male comedians using the stool as a penis.
Yeah.
Which
I did not understand that at all.
I haven't seen that move since the mid '90s.
Yeah. And also when she's like, acting it out like to make fun of them. Like, did she like down a thing of NyQuil before the show? Because she just puts no life into it.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh yeah, I'm traumatized. Yeah, yeah. Like she does the fake yelling, that a lot of women comedians do.
Yeah.
Because they just can't put any effort into delivering their joke.
I mean, the last joke I can think of that I've seen where someone used a stool was the Bo Burnham joke, to where he like kind of waves it around above his head, saying that he ate a hot dog because he couldn't, and then something happened and he couldn't control his stool.
Stools, yeah.
Yeah.
At least
face
she had
puns,
lots
folks.
of terrible accents for you to laugh at. That was extremely funny.
I was feeding my dogs at that time, and so I had the stream turned up on my headphones so that I could still hear it from across the room. What the hell was that?
Yeah, no, I know.
Like not like you can get a laugh out of like doing an accent badly, but like it's clear she wasn't even like trying to do an Irish accent. Like it sounded more like she was trying to do like the Swedish Chef or something. Like she was trying, like she was purposely doing a bad accent, like because she thought it would be a good bit, but it wasn't, and it was just like the fake accent itself was like nails on a chalkboard.
Well,
Oh yeah, no, it was brutal.
now what she could have done is do the hurdy-durdy of the Swedish Chef and just be like, yeah, he's Swedish.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have at least gotten a response.
A genuine one, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen other people do the joke of like they're impersonating someone or whatever, but it sounds nothing like them, and they do like a sly I don't know why they sound like this, and it gets a laugh.
That's like my Trump
it's
compared to Frosted's Trump.
I forget which joke it was, which show it was, but someone did the joke where like he's like impersonating someone doing a William Shatner impersonation, and then the guy says, that is the worst impersonation I've ever seen. He's like, no, mine is spot on. Bill's the one who can't do an impersonation. Because like he was doing an impersonation of Bill doing an impersonation of William Shatner. So like
that was Kyle Dunnigan doing Bill Maher doing William Shatner.
It might have been, but I have the feeling that this was like a network TV show. Like You Guys Are Going to Pizza Place, something like that. It wasn't Kyle Dunnigan.
Because I know,
maybe he made the same joke. Maybe he did, but the one I'm thinking of is the show.
I know with Kyle Dunnigan's Half Hour, he did Bill Maher doing imitations of people. So because he's better at doing imitations of Bill Maher. So I'm going to do an imitation of Bill Maher doing an imitation.
Doing an imitation?
Yeah.
Well, no, it definitely wasn't that I was thinking of, because it was definitely William Shatner, and it was like just some random guy that they were both friends with. He's like, this guy is the one who can't do the impersonation. My impersonation of Bill doing a William Shatner impersonation is spot on.
Like there was a better accent bit in one of the episodes of Drunken History. Because it was one of the guys from Impractical Jokers was the one who was drunk telling the story, and he's like doing the voice of a guy with an Irish accent, but he can't do the accent well, so before every sentence he goes, "Me lucky charms," to like get the accent.
I was almost half expecting to hear her say that at some point when she was doing her shit, like terribly, terribly, terribly Irish accent.
And that probably would have gotten a chuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if she hadn't actually said Irish, you wouldn't know she was trying to do an Irish accent.
No, I'd have thought she was just retarded.
Yeah.
Even more.
It sounded more Swedish or something.
Been like, someone dial 911 and we'll tell you when to dial the other one, because I think she might be having a stroke.
My favorite Irish accent was a comedian called Danny Boy. He was saying, so he's a Scottish comedian. He's saying a lot of people say they can't tell the difference between a Scottish accent and an Irish accent. This is a Scottish accent. This is me talking, and this is an Irish accent. Fiddle-dee-dee, potato.
No, Danny Boy is he's Canadian, and was it Canadian or no? Wait, no, that's that's the
I'm
other
pretty
guy.
sure he's Scottish because that was the whole.
But yeah, he's
purpose of
from
the show.
Scotland, and he's I think he's Middle Eastern or Filipino or something like that. And I was thinking of someone else though.
We talking
Russell
oil?
Peters. Russell Peters is Indian and Canadian.
Okay, so his father is Indian, his mother is Scottish, and he was born in Scotland.
Yeah, yeah. His stuff's really good.
Plus, I think when she was doing her fake accent, she like cracked a couple times, which again makes it
Ruined
even
it,
less
yeah.
funny.
Well, it's one of those things like you can laugh at your own jokes, but you already have to have people like genuinely laughing.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
In fact, he's performing in Perth.
Cool.
yeah, it's got to be a really good joke in order to get away with like laughing at it or something.
again, it goes back to that whole thing for comedy. Your biggest thing is one is timing, the other is delivery, and both of hers were terrible, and it just didn't work.
Well, I mean, I would say that delivery, like timing, is a big part of delivery. Like,
Yeah,
you can't really separate the two. They're connected.
Oh, I'm saying because like you could have the right timing for it, but if your delivery of it's terrible,
Yeah,
it's still
I
gonna
think
suck.
I
But you could
think
have a
you can't have good delivery without good timing, I guess is my point.
yes, usually.
Yeah, I mean, it's timing is one of the components of delivery. So you need that to be on point for your delivery to be good. But there are other factors to the delivery. It's just that timing is probably one of the most important.
Is Terry cutting out for anyone else, or am I going insane
Uh,
further down the rabbit hole?
little bit.
Yeah, well,
That must be
Okay.
why you were hearing all that static before. Maybe my connection is acting up because it's raining.
and also like a lot of her, anecdotes, little stories that happened to her, like 3/4 of them are like, yeah, no way that happened, or at least not the way that you say it did.
Yeah, you're padding a story, like,
Yeah,
Oh,
which is, I mean, it's understandable if you want to like fill time, and because I mean, not everything a comedian says is going to be 100% to the point accurate.
no. They obviously embellish to make the joke funnier.
Yeah,
well, I was gonna say you guys have seen Christopher Titus, right, or know of him?
Oh yes.
You know his stand-up Norman Rockwell is Bleeding, to where he talks about what he says to would say to his girlfriend. He's like, "Yeah, man, I wish I'd have said that." That's what I kept waiting to hear.
Uh,
Yeah.
Well, I've seen Norman Rockwell is Bleeding twice. Once as a live stand-up performance, and once as his sitcom Titus. He basically took the exact same material and just turned it into a TV show.
yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good show. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't mind watching it twice, but I'm just saying he didn't write much in the way of new material for his show.
No, like the only
like-
ones were a couple episodes of like the one with Frankie Muniz.
No, Titus was a good show. Before I knew what a retard he was on Twitter, I used to really like the show. Now I can't look at his face. He's just an idiot.
Yeah,
I mean,
when she did,
Good.
like when she did that whole date with the hand job Hamlet guy.
Yeah.
It's like, have you had sex with any of the guys you're dating? You haven't even given them hand jobs. It's like, I don't believe for a second that a person actually said this. And assuming you're making it up, it's not funny either.
I would say that at least the first part of it would be true, where
No, I think I can understand what the joke was intended to be. Like the joke was, you think he's upset that she's going out giving handjobs to other guys, but he's actually upset that she's a cock tease and she's not, giving these guys any like sexual favors. That's supposed to be the joke. She just doesn't tell it very well.
That was supposed to be the joke. I couldn't even tell.
yeah,
That's what she was going for.
I figured he was trying to hint that he was trying to at least get a hand job. Like, I don't know.
No, because the whole thing is she set it up by like he's angrily saying, "You're not even giving them hand jobs," as it is like he doesn't believe that she's as chaste as she's presenting herself. And then the big reveal, so to speak, is that he's actually mad that she's a tease and not that she's a whore. Basically, that's the joke. He didn't tell it very well.
Also, sorry.
Hey, Talk.
Also, like the punchline of your joke is supposed to be a surprise. Like the audience shouldn't see it coming. So, making the guy named Handjob Hamlet just completely ruins that.
Also true.
Like if the handjob thing came out of nowhere, it would be a little funnier.
Hey, Simius.
Yeah.
That, or if it like implied something of, he donates sperm for money very often, or he's giving people hand jobs or something. That would make more sense for calling him Handjob Hamlet.
The whole point is to subvert expectations, and telling the audience up front what to expect kind of undermines that.
Also, that username isn't even funny, and I think just any ordinary person on the internet would come up with a funnier name, incorporating handjob.
Yeah. And as someone who has been on Match.com, they don't have usernames. Like, they just have your first name and maybe your last initial.
Yeah, that's most dating sites from what I'm aware of.
I've never been on a dating site, so I didn't know that. So it's good to know that she didn't even get that detail right.
Yeah. Tinder is anonymous.
No,
Match.com
Tinder still uses your first name.
Oh, well, haven't been on Tinder, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All of them want to ask for a credit card.
Yeah, I actually was for about a week.
I did sign up to OkCupid back when that was a thing, but that was only because they had all these goofy personality tests, like the things that ended up taking Facebook. I just used to like doing them. It's like, which flavor of ice cream I use. Like, oh, okay, cool, I got strawberry, and then that was the only reason I signed up. And it was like, okay, I'm bored of this now.
You're all whores and I hate you. Goodbye. Click.
This is before modern society ruined women to the extent that it had. This was it was pre-Facebook. Like, I signed up to OkCupid because Facebook didn't exist, and this was the place where all the ridiculous, personality tests, like which Ninja Turtle are you or whatever.
This is pre-internet or early internet.
Early internet, yeah. Pre-Facebook.
So like if you're gonna make a joke about Match.com, what you should bring up is the fact that the creator of Match.com lost his, I can't remember if it was his girlfriend, fiance, or wife to another person that she met on Match.com.
That's funny.
That's a fact.
That's a very funny fact. Then. She should have included that in her facts are important bit.
Yeah. She wouldn't have made a good joke out of it.
No, she wouldn't.
Now, and
if she did, she would have ruined the joke by telling it 6 times.
And then waiting for an applause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised just a banner didn't drop behind her that said, "Please clap."
Jeb just showing up behind her.
Hey, see, we repeated a joke, but we had time in between.
I mean, there really wasn't a lot here.
No. I actually mentioned that to Gunsky one time because he was like, "Why do people keep watching our shows?" Like, 'cause, obviously the same jokes come up a lot because the same prompts come up a lot. And it's like, it's because the show's only on once a week. It gives them time to not forget, but sort of like
it's like they're waiting for it. It's like a catchphrase.
Yeah. That's the example that I gave. Is essentially it's like a catchphrase from a sitcom where if you watch the show every day, it gets annoying. But if you watch something like a low once a week, then you're actually waiting for them to say the thing. Like, come on, listen very carefully. I know you're gonna say it.
Kind of like we're always waiting for the FBI to say he was on our radar.
Yeah. So, everyone knows I'm gonna say Steve. It's just a matter of when. When during the show I'm going to use the Steve answer.
It's funnier when someone else uses Steve.
It is.
Well, there was the one time where it might have been Terry's answer against mine where we both put Steve.
Yeah.
Sora Luna. Since I just went over the corner earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
Sora punching everyone in the testicles.
Well, the first one was Sora watching someone get punched in the testicles. Then the follow-on was her punching someone in the testicles.
Yeah. I did think it was funny that Jack was like, "Fuck you, Sora Luna." I do think it's interesting. The conversation is a lot more animated when we're talking about actually funny things than when we're talking about the special.
Yeah.
The dating game. When she mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's like
giving the personalities of her.
How many straw men do you think were there, other than all three of them?
All of them.
Yeah. Anytime she brought up a guy.
Yeah, basically.
And that's also bringing up the Louis C.K. thing, because I had mentioned beforehand, if you guys had heard about it, and it's really, it kind of sticks in my craw a bit because she had mentioned the controversy around Louis C.K. And she's like, well, he kind of just came up out of nowhere. It's like, it's not like he was like, surprise, squirt. Like, that's not how it went. Like,
yeah.
And, when
so another strong
ask before, and when you ask
absolutely.
beforehand and get a yes, it's not sexual assault.
It's not anything. It's just people having a sexual encounter.
Well, and it's like,
it was him jacking on the phone like it was the fucking early 90s.
Well, and
like, that's just weird.
And there were girls that he had watch him. But you know what he didn't do?
Sexually assault single one of them.
Finish on him. Like she had said.
Yeah, no, that's right. Because she made it sound like he was ejaculating on the women.
Yeah.
Which is not what he was doing in the slightest.
Well, it's like even Chappelle. He's like, and he finished on his stomach, and it was just sad. Like, and yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It was just.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like if you're gonna talk about something like that, at least get that part right.
Yeah.
Well, then her jokes don't work as well because she can't talk about sexual assault.
Well, they have to work in the first place, but
it's kind of like with some comedians that they'll make jokes about millennials, but they're actually about Gen Zers. And I always want to tell them, even though I'm usually seeing a video of this, being like, could you at least insult the right generation? If you're gonna insult me, at least do it fucking properly.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I've got plausible deniability. I was born in 1980, which is either Gen X or Gen Y/millennial, depending on which set of like figures you use. So I can say like, no, I'm no millennial.
Plus, you're in Australia where time is meaningless. So
also true.
Meaningless or imaginary?
Both.
Like 1980 Australia is like 1930 America.
So what does that make me? Is that pre-boomer even?
Which is funny because, and I made this joke during, well, not while I was watching Monkey Show when they were talking about trends. I was gonna send a super tet. I sent a Streamlabs to Jack, and I'm like, "Have you guys heard of this thing called the Rubik's Cube?" It's like, you guys are going to be amazed when you finally catch up to us. And I always mention something like that because Montana has the slowest catch-up rate than anywhere else I've ever been. Like, I had made plans way back when. It was around 2002-ish. And I was living in Tennessee for a while, just kind of being homeless. And I called my parents just because I'm like, I need to go back home. Like, I'm not going to make it out here. And as I was listening to the radio one evening, they're like, "Oh, we got this new song." It's back when I think Edema came out with their first album. If you've ever heard of the band.
Yep.
And they came out with it's essentially the lead singer is the lead singer of Korn's stepbrother or something like that, or half brother or something. Relative.
Wow, that's music royalty right there.
Yeah. So,
well, I mean, that's like what, who's the chick that did Wrecking Ball?
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Her brother is in the band Metro Station that did that annoyingly catchy song, Shake It.
I'm glad I don't know modern music because I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Dude, that song's like 10 years old.
Yeah. I consider anything post 1999 to be modern music that I have no idea about.
Yeah.
But so the song just comes out, and I get in touch with my family. They send me some money. I make it back up home, and I'm talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was in Tennessee, and I heard this band called Edema. You guys might like it." It's like, we never heard of that. He's like, "Oh, okay, sure." So
Edema sounds like a medical condition.
it is.
Okay.
I know that.
I didn't know that it actually was one. I was just saying, it sounds like something you would get diagnosed with. Apparently, my instincts were on point.
I don't know what it is exactly, but yeah, it is one. But
we know it's not Edema.
Or it's a nice name for a Middle Eastern girl.
I'll be right back. I have a package that got delivered. I'm going to go grab that real quick.
All right. Yeah, it's spelled differently with the medical diagnosis.
Oh, okay.
It's essentially swelling.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, no. That's just the first thing that popped into my head was, no, that doesn't sound like a band. That sounds like an illness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so we're listening to our classic rock station that's trying to modernize because the outside of the town they have better radio stations, but they can't quite reach here. Well, back when I was living there. So we're listening, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got this new." Like, it was 2 weeks later, and we got this new album, this new band coming in, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is the one I was telling you about." They're like, 2 weeks, and I'm like,
I think
it's
there's this great new band. Have you heard of the Beatles?
Yeah, that's what made me think of the. That's what made me think of the line, Montana. Have you heard of the Rubik's Cube?
Yeah.
Just because trends like
This guy Elvis, he's really making a name for himself. I think he's going to be huge.
Yeah, we got the latest Al Jolson album.
Man, I don't know if that John Lennon guy should marry that Yoko Ono.
Seems like bad news to me.
let's see here. Yeah, I think our state is probably one of the last ones to have high-speed internet. It was advertised a lot, but yeah, it is mainly just in small sections of our big cities. It was only available.
You have big cities?
We have a big city, really.
Which is the big city? I don't know.
Billings, actually, I think is our big city.
Billy's?
Billings.
Oh, Billings. Okay, so like a department in a company.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. Yeah, population.
They're going to send you through to Billings, and you can complain about your payments there.
Population of 117,000.
Okay. I mean, that's probably small by American standards, but I mean, Australia has such a small population that I can see, 100 and something thousand people being reasonable. Sydney obviously has like a few million, but I can see like a decent like suburb or something having a 100K. Like,
Let's see.
Oh, that's double the population of where I live.
okay. I don't know the population of like my suburb, but
I don't even live in a big city in my state.
I don't know. The place I grew up originally is a town, and where I went to elementary school technically is a village. Where I live now, I don't even know what the population is.
Let's see what my hometown is. I actually brought up. Let's see. The Land O Unabomber, right? Oh, it's not even on the thing. My town is not even on the. That can't be right.
good old Uncle Ted, eh?
Yep.
I don't actually know that much about the Unabomber. And I know his real name because it's come up on so many of these streams. But that's it. I know Ted Kaczynski, and I know you've affectionately nicknamed him Uncle Ted. But beyond that, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming.
What was the population we were saying it was before? We were talking about
The
whatever place.
Billings.
107, 111, I think it said.
Oh yeah, population estimated from 2021 because it was the only one I could find for the census thing. Estimated at 34,000. That's the city I grew up in, or I was born in.
Between your state's Uncle Ted and my state's Uncle Ted, I'd take yours.
Yeah, the population of the town I grew up in as of 2020 is 998.
So I just looked it up, and my suburb has a population of 4,532, according to the 2016 census.
And the city
That's like
I'm
my.
in the city I'm in is about 55,000. And
It's
no
like-
one's even heard of the city I live in, so
Yeah. But, like that's just the suburb. I don't know. I think the city would be like Stockdale or something. Yeah, but like the city would probably have a bit higher, but apparently 4,500 in my suburb, which is pretty funny.
So anyway, the stand-up we were watching.
Oh, we have to talk about that.
Yeah, when you Brendan Schaubet and you just name drop to get better applauses than your jokes.
Was that supposed to be the person she was engaged to?
Oh, that always no. Oh God, no! I don't. I would never see that working out.
I still say that the celebrity she was engaged to was Robin Williams.
Wasn't Robin Williams married?
I believe so.
And she's mentioned in like Maria Bamford and Craig Ferguson. It's like, how do all these legitimately funny people tolerate her?
Well, no, it's like the pretty girl who has an ugly friend because it makes her look even prettier. I think it's the same principle applies here. If they bring Melinda Hill along, it's like, I always thought you were pretty funny, but you're actually a lot funnier than I remember because they're comparing it to Melinda Hill.
I didn't know how your set was going to be, but after that first person came out, God damn, you were amazing.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah, like she should be like opening for Carrot Top or something.
Carrot Top. Oh man.
It all depends. Does he have his props?
That's the only thing I know about Carrot Top is he's not funny and he uses a lot of props.
He's had a few decent ones, but yeah, usually he's not that good.
From what I can tell, his whole reputation is that he's not funny. Like,
and now, at least last I knew, he's swole as fuck.
No, but like, if someone needs an example of a really bad, unfunny comedian, Carrot Top is like the default option that they go with to mean unfunny comedian.
Or
Gallagher. Like, that's what it seems like.
I'd be more like Gallagher too.
Like I don't know who Gallagher is. I think I might recognize him. The name's familiar.
The guy who smashes watermelons.
Well,
Kathy, I know
Gabby was originally contacted, but she would have been at work and not been able to do it, so that's why we have Terry. He's got the higher pitched voice.
Oh, and it looks like Tyr found a new name for himself.
He's had that one for a while.
That.
No, I mean the one he just typed.
Watermelon guy.
Oh.
Kind of racist though, Tyr.
That's why we like him.
Don't forget the fried chicken.
And the purple drink.
I was looking up her Wikipedia just to see.
You was gonna order fried chicken.
All this time, I thought I liked fried chicken because it was delicious. Turns out I'm genetically predisposed to like chicken.
Which comedian was that?
That was Dave Chappelle.
Oh, she has a podcast. I should be surprised.
Everyone has a podcast.
People who are on Creed videos podcast.
I don't know. I mean, she would fit right in on NPR, where all the hosts sound like they had their personalities surgically removed.
NPR is like no personality radio.
Yeah, it's public radio in America.
Okay.
Or yes, no personality radio.
That also applies, I guess. Yeah.
For that one, yes, it applies.
It shouldn't even exist.
Well, they're the ones who threw a hissy fit because Elon gave them the publicly funded label on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is true.
Yeah. They said it undermined their credibility. It's like, good.
You undermined our credibility by pointing out that, yes, while we're not entirely state funded, we are still technically state funded.
Yeah. Give the government back their money if you don't want the label on Twitter, if it's that upsetting to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The government should not be funding or running any kind of media. I mean, the only kind
that disseminate their propaganda.
Yeah. I mean, the only kind that I would be okay with is if it was basically just C-SPAN, where it's just camera footage of, Congress in session or whatever with no commentary or anything.
Technically, there is also, and I don't remember what radio station it's supposed to be, but there is a military channel that plays a mixture of songs, usually just whatever's popular. No, correction, because they actually have different military channels to play rock, country, and like the popular and hip hop and whatnot. Because I always forgot those existed until I actually got to drive around the trucks and we would listen to that on the radio because typically I could not understand the Durka Durka Muhammad Jihad.
Mm.
And then when I was in Africa, I can't remember what they had over there. Clicks and whatnot. Man, that one bombed. Moving on.
No, that means you repeat it 3 more times.
Yeah.
And then
wait for 2 minutes.
And then do magic hands.
I did
And
the
then
magic
pause
hands. You
for
can't
2 minutes.
You can't see them. I still have them out. It actually is kind of helping stretch. So
He's doing the magician gesture, yeah.
Oh. Now, you know what? Actually, this is the time. Let's see if she's on Rotten Tomatoes.
What, like this special?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we'll check Rotten Tomatoes and we'll check
IMDb.
IMDb, and then we'll check
I had her up on
Metacritic.
IMDb.
So what was this special on? Was it like on Amazon or something?
It was on Amazon, so it'll definitely be on IMDb, which I had already seen the rating.
Yeah. Well, if they're being honest, it should be a very low rating, but I don't have a lot of faith.
I'm sure the only people who saw it are like middle-aged women and like gay guys.
And us.
So
Yeah.
you know, the ones who would actually give it a good rating and
Yeah.
put stunning and brave in the review.
I laughed when she pointed out the wage gap. It's sad, but it's true. Power to Melinda Hill.
She's not on. She's not on
Also,
Rotten Tomatoes.
Also non
Rotten, you
sequitur,
need to
but
fix your website.
also non sequitur, but she looks like a 1970s Laura Dern.
Okay. I can kind of see that.
Like a younger Laura Dern wearing 70s fashion.
But, yeah.
Oh, see, her special isn't on any of the, or for IMDb.
Really?
I don't remember what it was called, but I think you said it was 2019, right?
I think it was called. Was it
Inappropriate.
responsible?
Okay, then it is
Inappropriate.
on there.
That's it.
I do have it here.
Yeah, that it is on there as her as a writer
There are no comments.
and a producer.
And she was mentioning how like she toured for like the troops or whatever, and one of the places she went was Guantanamo Bay. The odd thing is that they had her play for the prisoners and not the troops.
And apparently it's got a 6.1 out of something or other. Oh, out of 10. I don't know why.
Because they don't let people rate this.
Well, they take negative reviews down. Remember, they
Yeah.
they decide that they're hate speech or whatever, and they pull all the negative reviews down.
And you don't want review bombing
Yes, exactly.
from bots.
Who accurately describe the contents of the special.
Oh, and because of scrolling down and seeing a more like this, I remember the joke that she ruined that's based off a meme I've seen, the hobosexual.
Oh yeah.
No.
To where it's like, you know, you always see a woman that the only time it seems she's living with some, or she's got a place is when she's dating someone. It's more like she's a hobosexual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that punchline could have gone with a good joke if it was delivered better.
Actually, you know what's really funny? The magician joke is actually one lifted from Steve Byrne.
Oh God.
I'm not surprised.
Who's Steve Byrne?
He's one of my favorites, actually.
Isn't he the one we watched the one time?
Yeah,
The Asian guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got a whole bit about how he's both too Asian and not Asian enough.
And then in the end of it, his wife is just like, bitches at me, I'm the one who got Wish.com Elon Musk. And it's like, oh, damn.
Yeah, he had a stand-up, I think it was Happy Hour, that he was talking about. He's like, oh, yeah, no, my back's hurting. Do you mind if I lay down a bit? And then he sat in this pose where his like knees up and he's hand on his hip. And he's like, yeah, no one looks cool laying like this. And he's like, oh, there was this, I think he mentioned the magician being on that one. And then there's also the hand movements that he's talking about, which I think I'd have to find before to know
I
for
do
sure.
like Steve Byrne on Twitter. He's got like a pretty good Twitter account.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because he's actually getting pretty lambasted on Twitter. Like, people are comparing him to Owen Benjamin.
Oh God.
I'm like,
Who?
Owen Benjamin?
I don't think I know him.
Oh, Benjamin's kind of funny.
He's, like, on Twitter, he's fucking weird.
He is.
I'm just talking about his stand-up.
Oh, his stand-up's good. His stand-up's really good. I have somewhere, oh God, what the hell's it called? It came out, I think it was
2009.
2009.
Owen what?
Owen Benjamin.
I don't think I've seen his stand-up. I've only seen him on Twitter. And yeah, he posts some odd things. He's got some odd ideas.
I'm going through trying to see if I've actually seen him on anything.
Huge Pianist.
Hey.
That's the one.
Yeah, he's the one who did the song "Over the Pants Hand Job" in a Walgreens.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know that one,
never
but-
heard that one.
It's 2018.
Fair enough.
This video is currently unavailable to watch in your location. Oh, which means my video just got taken away from me
Oh,
because I paid for this one.
What video?
Owen Benjamin, Huge Pianist.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a comedy
yeah.
special.
Yeah.
That's why I prefer to have like both physical and digital media,
Yeah.
so it can't get taken away.
I was so hoping you were going to say that's why I prefer to have Surfshark VPN. Use code Frosted for 70% off.
NordVPN. I think I'm gonna unwind with a little Raid Shadow Legends.
I can't remember any of the food ones. Clicking after that, I'll have a meal from insert this.
Yeah. And don't forget, you can become a Scottish lord or lady today with established titles.
And spread out on my bone branch sheets.
Which I paid for with birch gold.
Man,
Yeah, he had the magic joke a while back. So
Ben Shapiro should totally start his own version and just call it Jew Gold.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna have to watch this. I was going through Owen Benjamin's thing, but it's supposed to be a comedy horror called, I think it's comedy horror. Hand Job Cabin. Four
God.
friends descend on a log cabin for a weekend of fun, but an ominously sexually frustrated presence resides within.
All right.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a short. Yeah, it's comedy horror. Oh, apparently it's like if it's the whole thing, it's supposed to be like 3 minutes. So I'll have to find
Well,
it.
Isn't Owen Benjamin the one who did the N-word stole my bike song?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm
and to
allowed
the
to say the title on your channel.
you can. Yeah, he did the he played the clip of Punch Out where Doc is riding a bike and Max running behind him.
Yeah, I've seen it. I didn't realize that was Owen Benjamin because I've seen like memes of it. I didn't realize he originated it.
I don't know if he originated it, but he definitely put it out there.
Yeah, because it's little Mac chasing after Doc while Doc's riding the bike, and like nigga stole my bike.
Yeah.
Punch Out was a great series. It's one of the few things I'm glad I bought a Wii for. The Wii version of Punch Out was easily the best.
I have not played that one.
It's really good.
I never had a Wii, but I was in a dorm suite with one guy who had one, and for some reason I got addicted to one of the Tiger Woods golf games. And I don't even like golf,
cool.
but
Golf isn't so bad in some games, depending on what game it is, and playing it itself usually isn't too bad. I still, to this day, do not know how people can just watch it.
Well, I think there's a wide gap between a video game version of a sport and actually participating in the sport.
Oh, yes.
Like, I'm quite happy to play like sporting video games. They're not really my thing, but I can have fun with like NBA Jam or something like that, or one of the early FIFA games or whatever.
Okay, NBA Jam back in the day, if we're talking the one that I don't even remember on the Sega where you could make the character have a giant head. That game was fun as hell.
It was. I liked it because it just made me laugh that you could have a character that was Bill Clinton. Like you could play as Bill Clinton in that game, at least on the Super Nintendo version.
I don't remember for the Genesis.
The one sport where I have no idea why they made a video game of it is paintball.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Just play a shooting game if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, like the whole point of playing paintball in real life is to,
stimulate actual warfare.
Pretend that you're having a gunfight without actually killing anyone.
Yeah.
But in video games, you can already do that with it looking like real guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you want to pretend to have a gunfight?
But in GoldenEye, like
Because
you could unlock paintball mode.
$60 is cheaper than $150.
No, in GoldenEye you could unlock paintball mode, and I had no idea what the purpose of ever using it was.
And having friends.
Yeah.
Well, paintball mode was made so that way you could do painted messages on the wall of calling someone a nigger or the F word.
GoldenEye didn't have online. So
Yeah.
there's no reason to do that.
Yeah, but you could do it to your friends while they weren't paying attention.
That is
Or
true.
just
Yes,
draw a
you
dick
could-
on a wall.
I suppose I just never saw the point in like changing the bullet holes into paint splotches.
Hold on there. I'm not done yet. Don't kill me. I can spell my name.
I could understand the big head mode because headshots do more damage. So if you play with big heads, headshots become a lot easier. But okay, I can understand why you would turn that on or off. That makes sense to me. But paintball is just like, okay, so instead of bullet holes, there's paint splotches. What's the point? Like, nothing changes.
I think a lot of them were just meant to be, goofy.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't serve a real purpose. They're just, the programmers messing around.
I was half expecting Terry to pull a Seinfeld. What's the deal with paintball mode?
But yeah, I think we're getting too distracted.
I think this is a much better conversation than anything we said regarding that idiot's comedy special.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you can torture your friends and actually still have fun.
Because, as the title says, that is how you make friends.
Like that was how we did things in the military. Was if
no, I can attest to that because these streams are how I met Gabby, and we did end up becoming friends. So
well, and actually, because I was talking to Camel, I thought we were talking about, the stand-ups before. We started off with Hannah Gadsby. Like there was no build-up. It was bam, we are there.
Oh damn.
And I think I had a part to play in that because I actually said that if you guys had a way for me to watch the Hannah Gadsby special, Nanette, I would actually watch it. And it's like,
I was like, I got it.
Okay, let's make it happen.
Let's
like,
do
I'm
this.
not going to seek out these things, but if you have it, I will watch it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we were talking about like everyone's been seeing it, but does anyone know what's going on with it? And it's like, is there a way to watch it?
I've still only seen clips from it, and I'm fine with that.
Is there a way to learn this power?
We need to do a sequel. We need to do a sequel. Then get Rotten in and let him watch the whole thing.
Anyone who hasn't seen it.
If that's gonna happen, I don't have enough alcohol in my house currently.
Oh, you'll need it.
Oh, I know. I've seen clips.
The thing is, Nanette doesn't even try to be funny. Like, it's like an open audience therapy session. Like, she's not even telling jokes. She's literally just
bitching.
Oh, like relaying her traumatic experiences from her life. And it's like, she has the bit where she's like, why was it okay that I was picked off from the herd? And okay, tell your therapist, not us.
Yeah, I like what Bering did, where he took the part where she's talking about how I was raped, yada yada, and he just adds in himself like laughing uproariously to it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like from the audience.
The laugh track.
It's gonna need to play that song from Bo Burnham, "Kill Yourself."
Yeah.
I think of Filthy Frank when I think of "Kill Yourself."
Well, no, he does a whole song on that. In one part, he actually does go through the whole thing of like, then you need to book a therapy session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Filthy Frank had one as well.
If you, without going into, like, I don't know the lyrics offhand, but
if you need to talk about your depression, you should book a therapy session
and let a professional
and have a professional hear it. But if you
if you look through moral wisdom
of Katy Perry lyrics, then kill yourself.
Yeah.
I need to listen to this other "Kill Yourself" song because it sounds pretty good.
Oh, Bo Burnham songs are top notch in my opinion.
I was thinking of doing one because with Travis hasn't seen because his ex had suggested him watching Bo Burnham, and so because she's like, oh, hey, he's absolutely hilarious because he's. But his jokes aren't as dark, and I'm like, who is she watching? They're not as offensive, and I'm like,
that's called
maybe
fucking
she just
an
has
A
a very
minor.
high bar of what counts as offensive.
I still like. It's called fucking an A minor. That's A minor, the key, not the felony.
Yeah.
Which actually reminds me of Louis C.K.'s joke. He's like, yeah, he's had sex with a minor, someone who works in a mine.
Yeah.
Like, because he's talking about someone who's like, lived rather than, You said sex with someone who
The profession, not a
them to
child.
shave. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we need to give ratings for
Yes.
Miss Melinda Hill's
That is where we
stunning
are.
and brave performance.
All right. So, using whatever rating you have, either 1 through 5, 1 through 10, whatever, 0 through 10, how would you rate that?
I would say like 1 out of 5, 2 out of 10.
So I'd have to say like 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10 because technically 0 you can't do on any of those rating systems. So I will be fair in that portion of it.
Okay.
Like
Frosted.
she almost had a chuckle in a couple things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frosted.
I guess I would go 2 out of 10. Like it'll make you cut yourself, but only for attention.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess I would also go with the 1 money shot out of 5
Yeah.
because yeah, it's poorly.
One
it's,
magician gesture out of 5.
it's poorly aimed and it's just gonna land on your stomach.
I'm gonna give it a.
What they're saying is hashtag me too soon.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna give it a hashtag Me Too out of 5.
There you go.
And I got nothing for that one.
I did think it was
I'm
a
not
bit.
even gonna try to fake it.
I did think it was a bit dodgy that she like complimented herself for her Sun Yi joke, which was exactly the same as her Louis C.K. joke, just with Sun Yi's name.
Well, the Sun Yi one was lame. Like it didn't
Yeah,
even
but,
make
like-
sense. It's just her name happened to be Soon, which was incredibly lucky for her.
Yeah, but like she actually says, "I thought it was funny too." I was like, yeah. Don't compliment your own jokes in your comedy special. That's
Like the Me Too Soon one, like could have been like was a little funny if it had been applied to a case where it was actually true, not Louis
Yeah.
C.K.
Yeah.
Then that could have been a decent joke. But her follow-up ones were just lame as
same
hell.
joke that didn't make sense. Yeah.
And then just made it worse the more it went.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we watched it, so you didn't have to. So
I mean, if you want to watch it because you're a masochist.
it is
Then
on
go
Amazon
for it.
and it is free. So
Oh,
there you
apparently
go.
By
I
all
think
means.
nobody's on Amazon if you have Prime as well for free.
nobody.
If you need to have Prime, then it's
Yeah, with
not
Bob
really free.
Odenkirk.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
I do like Bob Odenkirk.
You were,
Oh,
I
dude,
haven't
that
really-
fucking bus scene is fucking brutal.
Yeah, I watched that scene, but I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, highly recommend.
I
it's
saw the first John Wick.
it's very much John Wick, but it's more. I wouldn't say.
It's from the writers John Wick, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, I think so. It has a very John Wick atmosphere, but it's like not John Wick.
Yeah.
It's like if John Wick had an HR department. That's more like it's the administrative part of John Wick. Like, whereas John Wick's the hitman, he's a connector. Like he's Winston, if you will.
He's a real nobody.
Exactly. But on that note, I think this has run its course. We're just we're grasping at straws now.
Now we're just having fun. That's it.
Yeah. We're speaking our truth.
God, I hate that statement.
And that's why I said it. But yeah, that is going to be that. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
I'm gonna be doing magician signals for the next